Hello, beautiful family, coming to you from the guinea pigs, sharing watermelon together and transmitting this beautiful energy of sharing all around, gathering all around and sharing everybody. Speaking of sharing, they make sure they get something. And there's also a bunch of grass, and see that brown girl on the left there with her beige nose. That is Brownie, and she is changing her name to Tia, and she has come to us a few weeks ago, but it's her first day, her second day. It's not even 24 hours yet that she joined the herd. So she hasn't been around other guinea pigs. She only had one. I had her and another girl in the house for the last weeks to bond with her and get to know her and let her land, and she hasn't been around any other guinea pigs for a few years. So now she is with a whole herd, and it's a very beautiful experience because guinea pigs are very communicative, and in Switzerland it is even illegal to only hold one because they really need their own kind, but they can also be happy. Of course, everybody makes the best to be happy, but seeing the difference and how shy she was, and part of me wanted to also keep her in the house for my own self because she's so gorgeous, as they all are. But the message for me has been they belong with their own, and many of them. And it's been a very powerful experience. So why I'm also coming out of here is because I want to share with you about this book, this powerful book I have just finished. It's called The Stable Boy of Auschwitz, a heartbreaking true story of courage and survival about Henry Oster. And see the beautiful cover. So I highly, highly recommend this book. I've had it here for, this is now the time to read it. This is now, the time to get into it. And why? Because we have to know what happened so that it doesn't happen again. And let me share this part with you, because he has also been sharing, his powerful story with people. And he's been going around the world sharing about his story, and in this book he has. And hold on, let's drink some water first. It's it's actually really interesting having been reading this book right now after what happened in Sydney and the shooting. And it's a very interesting perspective, this book. This book is the true experience of a little boy. He was 5, living as a German he was truly German, and he lived in Germany, and his father fought in the First World War for Germany, so they were no less German than other Germans. And yeah, this book is about the attack towards certain groups and minorities, in this case the Jewish people, but also other minorities, which comes through in the book, that were attacked at that time. And his powerful description is very grounded, just out of his eyes, exactly how he experienced it. No dramatizing, no leaving anything out. I have never felt what happened so deeply than reading this book. And I feel I didn't really want to, but we were, of course, we studied it in school, but it was more like getting a perspective of this and this and this. But to read a whole book about a child's journey who spent his whole life until he was a teenager, from one camp to the next, and what actually happened in there, is very powerful to read right now. Yeah. And for me, having grown up in Germany, and I was born in Germany as a white person, and I was born, actually, it was into a religion that was free of church, but was religious. It was a Christian free church. And I so wanted to belong, and I lived in a very Catholic village. There were a few Protestants, but very Catholic. I then made sure that when I was a teenager, I joined the church just because I wanted to belong. And reading this book brought up so much in me. I highly, highly recommend reading it, because a lot of the patterns I'm seeing culturally in myself and others, and this has affected all of us, if we were, no matter where we were born, because the world felt it all. And like how we are saying now, how can happen what does happen in Palestine and everywhere else, with the rest of the world, we are looking and we are feeling, and to a degree we can't do anything. So for me, I feel the least I can do, that's my guidance, has been to really dive deep into the history, into her story, into what happened. And there's also been a lot of talk about, oh, the Holocaust didn't happen, it was just all made up. That has been said a lot in the last years. So some really believe that. Well, if you read this, it might be different. And I do also believe it is important that we know what happened, why it happened, that we can see and feel for ourselves, because we might have also had ancestors that were involved in whichever way. And the deeper and deeper my soul has been embodying and my monad has been coming on, the more I have been guided, to really deeply go in. And because that's all part of who I am. And growing up in Germany felt very heavy. And it's all not many years ago. It's all not really many years ago. And the last few days I also really looked at what happened when I was born. I shared a video about that. It's in German, but you can translate that. And what happened in 1973 and how that has influenced how my family was and how we were brought up, and also the trauma from all of this. There was no time to do trauma healing. That happened, and then people started living again and building the country up again. And the people that survived, amazingly, this is really a beautiful story, very heartbreaking, heart-opening. And as you know, of course, the person survived because the book is here, the story is here. So, and it is about, yeah, courage and survival. And to read how he survived and what happened, it's just very, very powerful. So when I was born in that generation, my parents, they were just building the country up. They couldn't do any much trauma healing. Everybody was like coping and bypassing. And yeah, it's interesting too how this Heinz was his name in German, like my father. He changed it to Henry. How he actually healed his trauma. It's very inspiring. And yeah, he obviously survived also to bring the message to us, because not many survived, so that the message couldn't be brought really to people. That's why most were killed. Yeah, so we are the generation, many of us, who has to do the trauma healing. And yeah, let me just find a little bit I like to read to you. That when these horrible events took place, the world failed to understand how a seemingly civilized and cultured people could allow themselves to be so willingly and tragically misled. We try very hard, but we still fail to understand this today, and we can be sure that we will fail to understand it in the eternal future. We will never understand it. All we can be sure of it is that we cannot forgive, and we must never forget. We must never forget. So that's where I feel it is important to read right now. And he writes, I chose to return to Cologne after these 70 years to assure the present generation of Germany that they need not carry the burden of guilt and shame of a generation past. The sins of the fathers, through unforgivable and incomprehensible to us today, should not be visited on their sons and their daughters. And hate only begets hate. And tolerance should be the goal of the future of all of the human race. Tolerance should be the God of the aggressors of the past. It should also be the God of their victims. So reading this is so that we don't forget. And it is just incredible. I've read this book in I think 3 days. I couldn't stop reading it. It was very, 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 very powerful. And very important. And yeah, what comes across in the book too is the kindness of people, the fear, what people do when they are in fear, the starvation of people, and the differences in the countries. Also America, for example, and I felt that when I for the first time went to America when I was 16. I spent a high school year there. I was astonished about the size of the supermarkets, the size of the food aisles, the choices available of all different kinds of juices and cereals and bread, and like I had never seen something like that before. And yeah, so reading this book also has dropped me deeper into gratitude deeper, deeper. You know, this house I am in here for my guinea pigs, that is bigger, and they are guinea pigs. There are 13 of them sharing a watermelon. But this house is bigger than an apartment they had to share with sometimes 60 people or something like that, or sleep, or be in one train compartment with hundreds of people. So, you know, reading this book, I'm just so deeply flooded with gratitude of freedom, of choice, of peace, of actually having animals, and we have to be aware, and we have to be grateful, and we have to be aware, because a lot of the world is also a lot of extremism is happening, and a lot of gaslighting as well, and saying that the Holocaust didn't happen might as well be a part of the agenda of people forgetting. So I like this so much better than a history book. This is my own learning, my own trauma healing, the ancestral chain breaking. This is a book I choose. This is a book I read in my own timing, instead of sitting forced in a classroom where I have to study history at an age I might not want to know it. So this is lifelong learning and lifelong healing, and many of us are here also for the collective healing. So if you are here for the collective healing, wherever you are, I highly recommend this book, The Stable Boy of Auschwitz. And it drops us deeper into gratitude, it drops us deeper into compassion. I used to make jokes even a few weeks ago that I would never, never, never make again after reading this. And sometimes, yes, humor is also a healing way. It's what gets us through. It's also a distraction, a bypassing of really feeling. I have a whole deeper compassion to also anyone who's had direct family involved, who is Jewish in this life, who chooses that. We are all the same anyway. It's a choice of faith and religion. Don't need to feel sorry for that. That's everybody's choice, and many are born into that. And like I shared, this man, he was German, no less German than I am, just because he had a different face. And so it just makes it very obvious how racism in every country, even where I'm living at here, is such a bizarre thing. What is also beautiful when he is being rescued, and I don't want to take too much away in case you read it, but where the minorities, they're not minorities, they are powerful souls, they're just in different colored bodies or different religions. They often have the biggest heart and the biggest compassion, and to me, everybody is equal, and there is no one different, just like these guinea pigs. Now, a black guinea pig and a white guinea pig, and these guinea pigs are all different colors. And these guinea pigs are healers and teachers. You know, they teach us all about equality, all different sizes and colors and shapes and genders. And yeah, they are only guinea pigs, but they're not only guinea pigs, they are powerful souls in guinea pig bodies. And they are sharing and they are living here. And a lot of their family live also in tiny cages. Most guinea pigs live in houses like that if they are lucky. And they can never move around like they can in here. So, and they have a dangerous life in Australia with all the snakes, and so this is snake proof. And this has taken a while to get such a big house for them. And sometimes also traumatized souls from other lifetimes have an experience, or they, as animals, and they live actually being really loved and cared for. The trauma that happened, the events that happened, it's too much to even fathom. So anyway, I'm just coming out of reading this book. It has a really beautiful ending and highly recommend it. Let's start a book club of, if you read it, please share with me. I gave this to my friend as well for his birthday, and that's how I actually started reading it. I began reading it when we were meeting and I couldn't stop, and then, now we've been reading it together. And I still haven't stopped. I read it in one way through. So, deep, 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 deep. There's a deep, I just feel so sorry that this could happen to anybody, and that this can happen still today to anyone. And how? Well, when you read it, you can see a bit how, and also how people can fall for leaders, violent leaders, or how we individuals can fall for violent partners or something like that. This is very, very possible. And in Australia, the domestic violence is super high. There's many women getting injured every day, dying also. And, this is not yet collectively healed. We are in the healing process. And to heal it, we need to re-feel it. We need to know what happened. We need to re-feel it. We need to open the pockets in our body up to thaw this out, to feel it. From our soul and so on. Otherwise there's no healing, there's just bypassing. And all the personal development and all the going high and going high isn't healing this. And that's how it can happen again. We only heal it when we deeply feel it. When we stop getting out of the body but embodying deeply. And actually taking the time to feel and to heal. And sometimes we need to change our life. If we still work based on old patterns, like slaves, we cannot heal and unravel this. So, different ways of earning. By sharing, for example, products that are helping people to do the same, like the return to origin water, which has also has helped me thaw and allow my emotional body to open so deeply. And the frequency devices. And we can get then into a different way of, which requires a deep mindset shift. This is not about hoarding. This is not about fearful engagement with money or avoiding it or hiding it. A lot of people are buying gold and silver and hiding it and hoarding it. No, this is about breaking these old patterns. We need to break the fear or we cannot decode. So we need to deeply shift, and that can be very hard because it's very locked in over generations and generations. So the mind needs to open to surrender and begin this deep or continue this deep healing journey and go deeper. So we can collectively heal, not by turning the eyes away, but by feeling it. So I'm guided to all these things by the monad, which is guiding me by source, what to read, what to do, where to be. It wasn't my mind that said, oh, I should do that now. It's just all guided, because I've gone so deep, and I'm dropping deeper and deeper out of the egotism into the we. And so for we have to feel what happened to us. Yeah. Our friends, our family, our ancestors. And so we stop being fearful of each other as well. Yeah. And when you read this, oh, yeah, you know why people are fearful. And we understand it. And then compassion opens the heart, and this goes into the grit, and we are healing it by each of us who remembers. Not just remembering how awesome we are or how great we are, but really remembering what has broken our heart, what keeps breaking our heart. Yeah. So, the Stable Boy of Auschwitz, highly recommend. And yeah. And it was very interesting. This beautiful, where is beautiful Tia? Oh, there we can see also how they are grooming each other. My guinea pigs are always very in tune with what I'm going through. So beautiful Tia, whom you just saw before, I let her out into here, actually the day in the book that he was freed. So that's not a coincidence. And I only felt that later. I put her into here and I kept reading. And then he was freed, and they were both freed together in a way. And something freed up in me as well. So, and my father was born in the war. My grandparents were in the war. So it's close to me, and yeah. So I just felt to share this with you today. And yeah, the ending of the old collectively today, end of the year, but it's just a calendar year. There's also the Chinese New Year. There is the wave spell that I very much follow, the continuous wave spell of the 13-month moon calendar. I don't follow it, I just live in tune with it. It's more of the natural rhythm. But collectively today, yeah, it's a celebration day. It's also the time where a lot of people are cracking firecrackers. And here in Australia we have organized fireworks. They scare the hell out of animals and so on. And they also scare people who have ever been bombed. So, and this shoots up a lot of money into the air. It pollutes, just so that, yeah, people have some joy of fireworks. And in Germany people can buy their own rockets there. And there's a lot of violence also happening with it. Yeah, because people get drunk and then they throw them around. There's a lot of injuries. People are just cracking around everywhere, shooting those dangerous rockets up. And yeah, the animals get so scared from it. And the birds at night, everybody gets disrupted. Here, animals die from it. Horses get a shock, and animals really die from it. So what some people consider as joyful in the party is actually deeply disrupting. And yeah, let's speak to that as well. Like, for me, the solstice is a celebration. Today marks the end of a calendar year, but you know, it's more of a, for lots of people to get drunk and disrupt the whole wildlife tonight. And I'm sure people who've gone through this and hearing all the crackers in the night, yeah, let's use it to heal. Sometimes we re-experience things so we can re-feel it, and through re-feeling we heal. Yeah. And the more of us heal, and when we are aware of the collective, I heal it personally, but I also heal it collectively. Anything I do is for the collective. When we become aware of that, we are also becoming more, yeah, it gets more deep and involving, and there's no bypassing anymore. Yeah, that's what we just need to do when we are guided to, those of us who are. Yeah, so I'm deeply, deeply grateful for being here in peace with these beautiful guinea pigs and having another day with my beautiful family on this beautiful planet. And yeah, choose peace, not war. Choose love and unity, not the illusion of separation and differentness and competitiveness, and yeah, to our full integration and equality. Yeah. Have a beautiful day and night, and thank you. Thank you, Trevor, for coming on and sharing your energy. I hope you are really well, and thank you for everyone who is watching the replay. I appreciate you all, and feel free to share it with others. It's very important, spreading the message about this beautiful book. And I celebrate him, I celebrate Henry Oster for his courage, for his care, for his compassion, for his honesty, for not hiding, and for sharing his story, sharing the message of the only very, very, very few, maybe only 2 that survived that. So this is very special, very rare, very, very rare. And of course the beautiful horses are in it. And yeah, so I see you later again, and always in the quantum field.